What's up, everybody? John here at Metal Aviation, and today I'm going to show you how I made this awesome startup audio for my Radiomaster TX16S.
I am radio.
Now, back when I did the unboxing video for this transmitter, I mentioned how Radiomaster and Master Puppets, same master thing there, the correlation there, a little joke during the video, and Radiomaster actually responded or commented on the video and mentioned how cool it would be to have a Metallica-themed transmitter. Now, to do all that would be kind of a pain, and it would be kind of corny. And the startup, audio file that I created, it's kind of corny anyway, but I do think it's really cool. So I figured it'd be a lot easier just to do a startup audio file. So when the radio starts up, it says something cool. So I went ahead and, got my audio program ready, got my TX16S out and did a little work and came up with this file. So I'm going to show you how to do this. And the cool thing about it is once we get done here, you'll also know how to change any of the audio files on the TX16S, because once you know how to format the files correctly and where the files are and the naming conventions and that, you'll be able to change all your buttons and have your own, customized radio. But for today we're just going to go with the startup file. And this isn't going to be a tutorial video of how the radio works and hooking it up to the computer and all that. That's for another day. We're going to whip through this really quick here, show you how to edit these files and get you on your way. So first thing we're going to do is turn on the radio. And I don't know if the mic's going to totally pick it up. See, that was original. Welcome to OpenTX. Let's do that again here. I was talking while it came on. So the standard file that's in there.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Right, that's fine. Welcome to OpenTX. It's great. Kind of cheesy. I changed the opening audio, the startup audio, I guess we'll call it, on all of my OpenTX radios. But normally I change it to like what version of OpenTX it is. I don't get all crazy like I kind of did with this. But this was a really fun thing to do. We'll minimize this. So when you first turn on your transmitter and plug in your USB cable and set it to USB storage, you're going to get two directories that come up. For the first one, well, they both come up at the same time. First one we're going to close is this, the firmware window. Don't need that. This particular window is open to our SD card, which has our sounds directory, which is what we're going to be getting into today. So on the SD card in our sounds directory, we'll go ahead and open that up. We'll go into EN because I'm going to modify the English files. These are all different languages. And then we're going to go into the system directory. Now this directory here also has sounds on the radio, but the system directory has our system sounds, which are more, the numbers that they actually say, the intro audio. And the intro audio, or startup audio, is hello. So we type in hello, we get hello. Not welcome, because you think since it says welcome to OpenTX, it'd be welcome, but it's not. It's hello. And this is our file. So we hit play.
Welcome to
OpenTX.
OpenTX.
The audio that we hear when we turn the radio on. I think I have two versions of this open. Let's go ahead and close this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rename this to .og. I'm not going to eliminate any of the file name. I'm just going to add a .og on the end of it. That's how I name original files, right? So then I can go back and say, hey, there's the original file. We don't want to delete it. You can delete it. It's really easy to get the language pack and re-add it if you have to, but it's much easier just to rename it and go from there. Then we're going to go and create a directory, which I already created, to work out of. We're just going to minimize this for now. And by that, I mean we're going to create our new files, manipulate them, edit them, get them all ready to move over. So what I did is off my my E drive, I have RC, OpenTX, Radiomaster TX16S, SD card, and audio files is the directory I created. I know it's kind of deep into the directory structure, but I try to kind of keep things organized. And in here we have all the different files that I used. So let's see, we have the original. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this, and let's get rid of this, because we have the original there, back up there. All right, so. So what I did is I created one file that says I am radio. And then I took the Master of Puppets and edited out that section that I wanted. Also, in that section of Master of Puppets where it says master, then it fades out twice, says master, master. I added a third master onto the end of that because I wanted it to extend a little bit longer. I'm not going to get into showing you how to edit audio files and all the tricks to the trade there. You can figure that out yourself, but I will show you like the program I used and how I did all that. So we'll start out with the IM radio. What I did here is I went to a website called Voice Maker. Now, I signed up for this website a year or two ago to make my own audio files. There's different voices. I have a little more. I'm just going to show you the basics because this is what you're going to have when you go to the website. I think you can create and download X amount of characters without even signing up. Sign up, I think they give you 400 characters, and if you pay, it's unlimited, right? And it's not that much. It's like $5 a month, and you can just do 1 month if you want. So I pay. I think I've been paying for a year, and I haven't really used it a whole lot, but I use it enough, and I use it for work too, that it makes it worth it. Anyway, I digress. So in here, we'll go to input like I am radio, and then hit this here, and you'll see that
I am
it'll say
radio.
I am radio, but it says it different than you can hear it on mine, because by default these voices the cadence isn't really that good, but you can add voice effects. You can put pauses in between and emphasis on certain words. And I went in there and tweaked that out till I got that to say I am radio the way I wanted to say it with the right pauses. And I slowed down radio a little bit, and it came out pretty good. So you can figure that all out on your own. But when you do, say this is what I want, we'll go ahead and we'll assume that we like this and we're going to download it. So you hit the old download MP3 and we'll just show the file in the folder here. There's our file, right?
I am radio.
So now you have the MP3 of the file. We'll get back to our working directory right here. So we'll pretend that we got the file and we're good to go. Let's go ahead and close this. So now we have our I am radio file. And then the Master of Puppets, I edited. I'm not going to get into how I did it, but I basically cut a chunk out, the one I wanted, and created a file with it. So here's that file. And like I said, it fades out twice. The third fade out, I actually cut this one out, added it to it, then changed the pitch, changed the volume to get it to where I wanted to. So you can figure out how to do that yourself. Now, one thing you're going to need to do also, if you do something like this particular file was stereo, I had to change it to audio. Now that's going to be in your audio program. Somewhere in here they'll have an effect to go from stereo, or you can say, I think I did save as stereo to mono. So I created a mono version of this file. Again, I'm not going to get into teaching you how to do the audio, but I do want to show you the program I use. This is Goldwave. There's also Audacity. Everybody likes to use Audacity. And SoundForge is one I use as well. Goldwave is my go-to just because I've been using it for like 20 years and I know the ins and outs of it. So I have this file here. And then we have our I am radio file. And I did go in here and I boosted the audio to get it full range per file. So this way, this isn't really low and this is really high, and you try to piece them together and they sound off. So depending on what you're doing, if you're piecing stuff together like this, you might have to do some tweaking to get one of the files louder or turn one down a little bit. But basically we have our two files ready to go. And what I did is I just copied this, Control-C, edit, paste, and paste at the end of the file. So pastes it at the end. It looks like it didn't update the right file. So Control-Z is going to backtrack for me. Control-C, click on here, edit, paste, and there we go. So now we have this file pasted to the end of the top file. And if we play it,
I am
it's probably not
radio.
exactly like the one I have close enough. Yeah, so now we have the edited file. Again, not exactly. It might be exact, but a little bit off. I'm kind of anal about pausing and that to get the right effect. Either way, we have our file, right? Now, I believe this is still MP3? PCM 16-bit. So this is a PCM 16-bit. Now, the one we downloaded was MP3. You're going to need to change your end result file. You can work within an MP3, but you're going to have to change the format to WAV at the end. I think I changed both of these to WAV before I started. And again, I know I'm going quickly through this, but I'm not here to show you how to edit files and all that, but I will show you, how to change them, to what you need them to be. So no matter how you worked with this file, whether it was MP3, FLAC, whatever you want, whatever you have the working file as, when it's ready to go and you're ready to move it to the radio, you're going to need to change it to 16-bit, 32,000 hertz. Right now, this is 16-bit, 24,000 hertz at 384 kbps. That's because this is a mono file. It originally was 48,000 hertz. But since we cut it in half and made it mono, it drops the hertz. It drops everything in half, except for the bit. The bit ratio stays the same. So we want to get this to 32,000 hertz. If I was just to take this file, save it, and move it to the radio, it wouldn't work. When you turn the radio on, you'd get no sound. It has to be in that format. You can have it 8-bit, but the lower the bit, the crappier it's going to sound. Now, this doesn't have that great of a speaker in it anyway, and I'm not sure what it's even like playing at the output as. So 8-bit might be fine. I just leave it at 16-bit. And there's plenty of space on my SD card, so the size of the file won't matter, because a 16-bit file is going to be twice the size of an 8-bit file. Again, we're not doing computer courses here, but I do want to help you kind of get on your way. So let's just say this was an MP3 and I did all my editing in an MP3 and it's ready to go. What I want to do now is I want to resample it. So depending what software you're going to use, you're going to need to figure out how to resample it. In Goldwave, we just go to Effect, Resample, and right now it's at 24,000 hertz. We just want to hit the drop down, click 32,000, hit OK. Now on the bottom, you'll see that our file is now 16-bit, 32,000 hertz, 512 kbps. I don't think the bit rate down there matters as much as the hertz and the bit rate, 16-bit, 32,000 hertz. That's the main thing. The BPS is automatically going to update itself once you change the file. But this is exactly what the file format is on the radio, because when we get 16-bit mono at 32,000 hertz, you're going to be at 512 kbps. So we're ready to roll here. This file is good to go. So we'll do File, Save As, and we're going to call it hello.wave because that's what we want. Oops. I can't type here. Hello.wave, and we're saving it in the directory to where all our other files are. Save. So we're just going to close this for now. And now we have hello.wave sitting there waiting to roll. So we took these two files, created this one, and we will get back to our radio. Oops. So here's our radio, Explore window for our radio. Oops, getting a little crazy here. We can scrunch this one down. And we already renamed our hello.wave. We backed it up. So all we have to do now is drag our new hello.wave, boom, into here. And it's going to put it at the bottom. If we hit F5, that's refresh for anybody who didn't know. Then I'll put it back in the H's. So there's our new hello.wave. Now, if we want, we can click on it right here, bring it up, and we can play it.
I am
and we can see right on our radio that it's the correct file. So at least we know we correct. Trying to talk over the audio. At least we know we have the correct file in place right now. And it should play it since our file format is correct, but you never know until you actually give it a go. So we are going to unplug, power off the transmitter. Now I don't know if it's going to pick it up. I've got a gate on the mic, so if any low volume stuff, no rumbling gets on the mic. So you might not hear the whole file. So if it cuts off, that's just because the radio's, the mic's not catching it. But you should at least hear the beginning.
AM radio.
Yeah. So I see it cut off at the end, but I heard it played all the way through. So now we have our new sound file on the radio. So at startup, we have our cool sound file. So that's basically it. You grab your file. If you're creating a new one, you back your old file up. You create whatever your new file is that you're going to create with whatever audio you want on it. Then you're going to want to get into your sound program. Make sure it's 16-bit, 32,000 hertz, and most likely it's going to be 512 kbps. Once that's set, save it as a WAV file with the correct name. That's the big thing. The correct name has to be in there. Now, you can't change those names because the firmware in the radio actually, when it goes to start up, it says, hey, let's go play hello.wave. If hello.wave isn't there, it just continues on and doesn't play it. So you do need to name it the exact name of the file that's on the transmitter as is. So whichever one you're changing, just make sure you back it up, create the new one, get the right file format, save it, move it to the radio, then do whatever you need to do in the radio to test it to make sure it works, and you're good to go. So that's it. I know I kind of breezed through a lot of things here, but I think the basics are in here. I mean, the basics are back up the file on the radio, create the new file with the right file name, make sure it's the right format, 16-bit, 32,000 hertz, save it, move it over to the radio, test it. Pretty simple. I have a lot of pictures on this radio too for my planes. I'm going to do a video coming up soon to show how to edit the pictures so they look good, the right size and all that. So if you have any questions, go ahead and comment below, and I'll get back to you and answer them as quickly as possible. And any comments, anything, pretty much you want to ask, go ahead and comment on this or any other video. And if you like the videos, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us move forward and keep this stuff going. That's pretty much it. Any other questions, just put them in the comments. Peace.